Actually, that just happened last week to us. Tommy's car
Brand
lost
new?
in Louisville.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's wild.
yeah, it's kind of been on hold, and then Brian was like, "Hey, let's move forward to that."
We're on.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to open the meeting of the Bristol Township Planning Commission. I would like to thank our viewing audience for attending our meeting. And those in it, thank you, and those in attendance. First, I'm going to ask you to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to
The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I'm going to ask you to remain standing. To keep in mind our troops that are in harm's way, our prisoners of war, our killed in action, or missing in action, for all those suffering from all these terrible wars, tragedies, and disasters, for the children who were separated from their parents, and any personal intentions you may have. Thank you very much. So we have one item on our agenda. We have one item on our agenda this evening, but before we go into the agenda, we are doing consideration for the August 5th, 2025 Planning Commission meeting minutes. Commissioners, you have copies of those minutes. You had an opportunity to review them. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion to approve those minutes. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved in second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you, Commissioners. The item we have on our agenda this evening is land development for Denali Enterprise, I hope I said that properly. Enterprise LLC, 38 Inwood Road, Levittown, is requesting preliminary and final land development approval to construct a 10,002 square foot warehouse, use F3, and parking area on the property located at 11 North Wilson Avenue, Bristol, tax parcel number 05077-001-001, within the M-2 heavy manufacturing zoning district. Good evening.
Good evening. My name's Chelsea Crocker Jackman. I'm here from Begley, Carlin, and Mandio.
Well, I'm going to ask you to just speak a little a little slower so I could get that.
Sure. Try it again. I'm Chelsea Crocker Jackman.
Chelsea, thank you very
Sure.
much.
From Begley, Carlin, and Mandio. And I'm here tonight on behalf of the applicant, Denali Enterprises, and present from Denali Enterprises, specifically MER Industrial Contractors, is Joe Tepper, who's seated right here next to me.
Good evening, gentlemen.
And then John Richardson from Dumac Engineering is the professional engineer in this matter. So this evening, we're here tonight seeking the Commission's recommendation of approval, as stated, for 11 Wilson Avenue, which is parcel number 05-077-001-001. This project has been, we'll say, open in Bristol Township for quite some time. But just very briefly, a thumbnail sketch of MER is that it is a company that does repairs for commercial, industrial, construction equipment, where 90% of those repairs occur off-site. They go out and make the various reparations to certain pieces of equipment. This particular property is where there would be some storage, offices, things like that. So this is basically the emblem. If you wouldn't mind, Kurt, I don't know if you have a pointer. Perfect. So this is a depiction of the property, 11 Wilson Avenue. Again, as you stated, it's about 1.6 acres, and they're seeking to put a 10,000 square foot warehouse on the property. So you can see it's uniquely shaped in that there's two sort of kind of like a rhombus and a triangle up here. There's no proposal or there's no request to do anything with this property, this component of the property up here. Down here is where the proposed warehouse would go. Of note, there is a basin on the property which has sort of been the subject of some of the back and forth and the we'll say responsibility for the time that has gone, that has passed for the past few years. It's the applicant's intention to maintain that, that basin. Right now, there's no improvements on the property. It's currently generally wooded. It is, there's a 50-foot wide paper street to the rear of the property, which is heavily wooded. And Mr. Richardson, I'm gonna ask if you could confirm, am I pointing to it correctly, right down here? Thank you. So the building will be Mr. Tepper's personal business, and like I said, specializing in that repair work. We were granted, this property was granted 3 variances having to do with the 30 feet from a residential district instead of the required 100 feet. Also granted to permit setback lines to be measured from the property lines instead of the natural resources as the ordinance prescribes, and then also to permit existing vegetation in the buffer and to allow the removal of existing plantings in the area of the proposed building, which is, I believe, right here. Did I get that right, John? Thank you. Pretty close. So with that, there are a number of waivers that we are seeking, I believe 9 in total. Kurt, would you mind going to the next slide, please? And I have them listed up here. So if it's okay with you to go through them one by one, and I'll have Mr. Richardson come up and he can provide the more technical explanation for each one. Is that okay?
Well, you can absolutely go through them one by one if you want to.
Thank you.
And make sure you mention the numbers. If you feel that you need to explain what each one of those are, you really don't have to.
Thank you for the direction.
We've been doing this long enough. So as long as, if we have questions, we can bring it up. So if you just go through your waivers.
That'd be great, thank you. So section 177-14, requesting a waiver to not require a separate submission of preliminary and final plan, and then reasons are stated of it, under it. Section 177-35A, to not require curbs or sidewalks along any of the street frontages. And I'm sorry, that's section 177-35A-43, 66 and -67, as well as section 144-45. Section 177-41F, to permit 9 feet of open space between a curb line and building. Section 177-48D3, to permit grading within 5 feet of the property and right-of-way lines. Section 177-49, to permit utility easements with widths of 10 feet.
I think we just passed one, Chelsea, went 48.
177-48D3, I'm sorry. That waiver is to permit grading within 5 feet of the property and right-of-way lines. Section 177-49, to permit utility easement.
Our next one is 177-55L.
Oh, am I going through?
We're looking at waivers off of the Gilmore Associates.
I'm sorry.
If I may, what she's reading is a list that's been updated based on the Gilmore review.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, thank you.
Oh, it's not your fault.
Section 177-55L1A, to permit the loading berths to be 12 feet by 55 feet instead of the required 14 feet by 55 feet. Section 177-91A1, to permit the plan to be drawn at a scale of 1 inch per 30 feet. Section 177-92A1, to, instead of the required scales of 1 inch per 50 feet or 1 inch per 100 feet. And then if you could go to the next slide, please, Kurt. Section 177-91C3, and 177-92C3 to allow an aerial photograph in lieu of requiring the location, names, and widths of streets, the location and names of railroads, the location of sanitary sewers, storm drains, water mains, culverts, petroleum or petroleum product lines, gas lines, electric and telephone lines, fire hydrants, and all other utilities or significant man-made features on or within 200 feet of any part of the tract. Section 177-91C5 and Section 177-92C5 to permit the plan to only show underground utilities which have been located, and Sections 177-91C6 and 92C6 to permit 1-foot contours instead of the required 2-foot contours. Those are the waivers that are being sought by the applicant. If there are any questions, like I said, Mr. Richardson can answer on a more technical level. By way of more explanation, if we could go maybe to the next slide, I believe it is, Kurt, and I'll have John jump up next to me for this one. Just a little bit more explanation. My understanding is that the kind of delay had to do with both water and sewer. That has since been worked out in the sense that a neighboring property is granting an easement for the applicant for sewer, and the water will continue down, I believe it's Green Street, right? Is that accurate?
Correct.
And so that has all resolved itself. Other than that, I don't know if there's any other notes that are of interest to the commission, but Mr. Richardson, anything I'm missing that should be?
I'll just reiterate the utility issue. So when the applicant first contacted Bristol Township and discussed this project, we're not sure who he spoke to, but he was informed that he should run the utilities down to Green. But based on our submission and conversations with Gilmore's office, we are informed that the sewer that's down here is, we would probably not allowed to connect into it, and if we were, it would be several years is what we were told to get those approvals. Based on that, it was a kind of a lengthy delay because there's no sewer directly available to the property. There is sewer behind it on Ash and over here on Wood. So the applicant has spoken to several of the owners of the residential lots behind and to the side in order to obtain an easement through those properties. He was able to discuss with this owner and verbally has a commitment to run an easement through the property that allows him to run a sewer line out to Ash.
Thank you. Commissioners, you've heard the presentation. Do you have any questions?
I do, through the chair. The waivers requested on the Gilmore and Associate letter, dated July 31st, is slightly different from the ones that were discussed. Is there do you have a letter
An
with
updated-
those or a waiver request that we could refer to when we make a motion?
We do have a waiver request letter. I don't know if you have it or not, to be honest.
It's not in our packet.
Like, for instance, on ours, I know we're missing 177-49 on the Gilmore Associates. And that was the one I picked up that was different.
Correct. So that one came about because of the Gilmore review. Section ordinance requires easement or utility easements to be 20 feet wide. I could be mistaken, but I believe that that intent is for public utilities. In our case, it's not really a public utility easement. It is for private use only. And we're kind of hemmed in physically because of existing features between the property line and the house. So one of the waivers that we added was to allow a 10-foot wide easement instead of the required 20-foot wide easements.
And that would be the only additional one?
Correct.
For the rest? Would they be similar to this? Because sometimes, some of the numbers weren't, if there was 2 sections listed, only one was discussed. So just want to make sure when we make reference.
Could I have just one brief moment?
Sure, sure.
I mean, if you mention 1 foot, like, under salvo review, it discusses it.
So-
But
so
what they're saying
we
is
did add
maybe-
these as referenced by Gilmore. So we did add those.
In summary, is it all the requested waivers that are listed in Gilmore letter with the addition of 177-49?
40.A.
40.A?
Correct. 49. That should be 40.A.
40.A?
Not 49.
Thank you.
And it's related to the 10-foot width of the easement versus 20-foot required?
Correct.
Do you want to take a minute to check it?
Let me check.
If we could have just one brief moment to check the ordinance so we're accurate on it.
Yeah, we get paid by the month. Just kidding.
John, we have 177-49 in our letter.
Yeah, I don't know where the 40.8.
Well, how about we stipulate it that it's related to the width of the easement and apply the section, we can verify the section
Thank you.
going forward.
Mr. Schroeder's suggestion was that the request would be to relate to the width of the easement, subject to confirmation that that's the accurate number, but we believe it to be 177-49.
Everything else in the letters will comply.
That's accurate.
Any other questions?
I have no questions.
Okay.
Commission, you've heard the presentation, I would entertain a motion.
I will make a motion, John. I would like to recommend to council, the land development of Denali Enterprise LLC, 38 Inwood Road, Levittown, requesting prelim and final land development approval to construct a 10,002 square foot warehouse using F3 apartment area on the property located at 11 North Wilson Ave. Bristol tax parcel, 05-077-001-001 within the M2 heavy manufacturing zoning district, along with the 9 waivers requested in the Gilmore and Associates letter dated July 31st, 2025, and also along with the 1 waiver, 177-49, if we confirm that that is the request, that is the correct one, regarding easements less than 20 feet. As presented in their presentation given to us today on September 2nd.
Thank you.
Noting that everything else in Gilmore Associates is able to comply.
Okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Ooh.
Kathy got it.
Thanks, guys.
Fighting over you.
I have a motion and I have a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Having nothing else on our agenda. I'll second. All in favor say aye. Aye. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Good luck, Mr. Tucker.
Thank you very much.
I love your shoes, by the way. I do too. Bow on it.
Thank you.
I